The ball left Natasha Howard's hands, and for a split second, the fate of an entire season seemed balanced in the air. Then it was gone, snatched away by Lexi Hull. Her steal didn't just secure a win, it ripped the weight of a decade off the Indiana Fever's shoulders. Through years of heartbreak, years of being dismissed, and a season defined by injuries and chaos, Indiana finally had its moment. For the first time since 2015, the Fever were back in the semifinals, and they didn't just sneak in, they fought their way through fire to get there. This wasn't just a basketball game. It was a gut-check challenge. Win or go home. 6 players down, stripped of their superstar Caitlin Clark, battered by officiating controversies in Game 1, and facing an Atlanta Dream team playing on their home floor, fully healthy and fueled by a roaring crowd. On paper, Indiana had no chance. But the Fever weren't playing for paper. They were playing for history. From the opening minutes, you could feel the desperation, but it wasn't desperation laced with panic. It was hunger. It was urgency. Kelsey Mitchell set the tone immediately, slashing through defenders, refusing to let Atlanta dictate the pace. By halftime, she had already dropped 19 points, keeping Indiana alive when every possession felt like quicksand. She finished with 24, but her scoring wasn't just about numbers. It was about willpower. Every shot was a declaration that Indiana wasn't going to fade quietly. Alongside her was Aaliyah Boston, who carried the weight of the paint on her shoulders. Matched against Bree Jones, Boston took hit after hit, absorbed elbows, fought through double teams, and still managed to dominate with 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. What those stats don't show is how many of those rebounds came with 3 hands clawing at her, how many of those assists came from sheer court vision in the middle of chaos. Boston wasn't just playing her role, she was anchoring the entire franchise, embodying the toughness of a team that simply refused to break. But the story of this game wasn't written by the stars alone. Odyssey Sims, who hadn't even been with the Fever all season, played like she had been born for this moment. With 16 points and 8 assists, she carved up Atlanta's defense with drives that cut through the noise and broke momentum. She played fearless basketball, the kind that demoralizes opponents because you can't game plan against sheer heart. Natasha Howard brought the kind of hustle that doesn't show up in headlines but wins playoff games, tipping loose balls, boxing out when she was undersized, and pulling in rebounds that should have been lost causes. Brianna Turner was the glue, a defensive wall that patched every gap when fatigue or foul trouble threatened to unravel Indiana. Aerial Powers, even in short minutes, was everywhere, diving for loose balls, contesting shots, turning hustle into energy that spread through the entire bench. And then came Lexi Hull. For most of the night, it looked like her worst nightmare. Shot after shot rimmed out. Confidence seemed to waver. But Hull never quit. She locked down defensively, chasing Atlanta shooters, fighting through screens, and staying ready. That's the thing about players like Hull, you can write them off until the exact moment they burn your narrative to the ground. With under a minute left, Indiana trailing, Kelsey Mitchell drove hard and scored to keep hope alive. On the next possession, the ball swung to Hull, and this time her shot found the bottom of the net, a clutch 3 that flipped the energy of the entire arena. Suddenly, a player who had been invisible offensively all night was front and center. But it wasn't over. Atlanta had the ball with 7.4 seconds left, one possession away from ripping Indiana's season apart. Pass came in, and Hull was there. She read it perfectly, lunged without hesitation, and stripped the ball clean. Just like that, the season was saved. That steal didn't just seal the game. It symbolized everything the Fever had been through. Struggle, frustration, setbacks, and then resilience. When the buzzer finally sounded, the scoreboard told the truth. Indiana Fever 89, Atlanta Dream 85. The drought was over. 10 long years of waiting ended in that moment. In the locker room, it wasn't just celebration. It was release. Kelsey Mitchell hugged her teammates with relief and pride. Aaliyah Boston let tears fall, the weight of carrying a franchise finally lifting off her shoulders. Hull clutched the game ball, the same one she had stolen seconds earlier, holding it like a trophy. Even Caitlin Clark, sidelined in street clothes, screamed from the bench and later posted "Fever Show" in all caps, her pride for her teammates radiating through the screen. But while the celebration was sweet, reality came crashing in almost instantly. The Las Vegas Aces await, a dynasty in the making. The reigning champions, led by Aya Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, and a roster with depth and experience Indiana simply doesn't have. A best-of-5 series where every weakness will be exposed, every possession magnified, every mistake punished. Coach Becky Hammon's words were chilling. They haven't seen the real Aces yet. That was a promise. And yet, what Indiana showed in Atlanta can't be dismissed. They've proven they can fight through injuries. They've proven that when the whistle goes against them, they can still rise. They've proven that even when their best shooter struggles, someone else can step up. This is no longer just a team surviving. This is a team that believes again. So here's the real question. Was this just one spark destined to be extinguished by Las Vegas, or the birth of something bigger? The Fever have been waiting nearly a decade for this chance. Now they've kicked the door back open. Win or lose in the semifinals, this is the night history turned in their favor. And maybe, just maybe, this is the foundation of a new era. One built not just on stars, but on unity, toughness, and resilience. A team that carried each other through chaos now has a chance to prove they belong on the biggest stage. If you're proud of the Indiana Fever, drop a comment below and let us know how far you think this team can go. Do you believe they can shock the defending champs? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of this incredible journey. The Fever are back, and this story is just getting started.